Hello everyone, this is Alex Solman and Dev to Dev back in your feed, getting ready to kickstart Season 2. I thought I'd do a little intro just to get the feed revved up again. We're a week out. I'm hoping to drop the first episode of Season 2 next week on the Monday, as I used to do with Season 1. Just wanted to catch up. I've taken a bit of a break. I took about a month off over January, got most of Season 1 finished just over Christmas. I've been working on getting some recordings ready for Season 2. I thought I'd do a little intro just to remind everyone what the podcast is, especially for anyone that's joining new, and what is planned for Season 2. So Dev to Dev is the podcast about everyday video game developers and why they do what they do every day. And what does that mean? Well, that's me trying to have conversations with folks, everyday developers that have worked on different games that you love. It's not about the games they worked on though. It's about who they are as humans, who they are as people, who they are as developers. Video game development is a very opaque industry, even now, less opaque than it was, but still quite an opaque industry, full of all kinds of different disciplines and all kinds of different stories. And I find it fascinating to sit down with people who have gone through that journey and at different stages of that journey to me and to other people that I've spoken to, and really trying to understand why. Why do they make games? Why are they video game developers? How do they get started? What do they get out of it? How does it change them, shape them, define them? A lot of that's reflected on how I feel about my own journey through video games. I've been making games for almost 30 years now. Still very much enjoy the process, and of, even as it's evolved over those 3 decades and continues to evolve. So some of these interviews and conversations are slightly selfish. They give me an ability to kind of reflect on my own career and my own learnings, learn new things, discover new approaches or ideas or personal journeys, but mostly to uncover those stories to folks and hopefully make the journey of being a video game developer a little bit less opaque. Those that were with me for the journey of Season 1, it was very focused on ZeniMax Online Studios. I was part, as were many of my guests, part of the recent layoff that happened there. So I wanted to focus Season 1 on people who'd worked with me very closely over those 4.5 years or so I'd been on the project, and give them an opportunity to explore their journeys and get that out into the wider world. Maybe it helps them get hired, maybe not, but hopefully it was an option to both dig into people that I'd worked with directly and knew but still didn't fully know, and also some people that I'd worked with only very briefly but got to learn more about. And I really enjoyed that process, really enjoyed that season. Season 2 is going to be a little different, as I mentioned in the wrap up of Season 1. I want Season 2 to focus a little bit more on people that I don't know. Not every episode is going to be like that, but I'm trying to focus on folks that I've never worked with, that I've maybe heard of or maybe met occasionally, or maybe have reached out to me having heard the podcast and been keen to be a part of it. Kind of interested in that side of the conversation. Let's have a conversation with someone who I don't know and dig into their history and learn who they are as a human, as a developer, in the process of doing the conversation. And episode 1 of Season 2 is very much that fascinating story, being connected through the podcast DLC that I listen to regularly every week. It's my favorite video game podcast. Some good friends, Jeff and Christian, who run it. I'm lucky enough to be a part of it occasionally with Feeling This that I do with Christian for DLC's Patreon, an occasional guest on the show, and a regular frequenter of the Discord. And I was connected by someone on the DLC Discord to my first guest of Season 2, who they knew each other and thought might be an interesting conversation. And it was great to dig into someone who's had a very illustrious career, and someone whose journey overlapped mine, maybe not chronologically, but geographically. We worked at a few similar places at different times, which is interesting. But more importantly, I think it was a good chance to dig into this person's journey. I won't say who it is. It'll be in your feed next week. But I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy Season 2. Please, if you can, promote the podcast as much as you can. I want this podcast to be for developers, to learn about other developers, but also for people outside the industry who don't really understand how it works, to learn more about it, learn more about us, the humans that make the games that we all play. And please, on your favorite podcast app, rate it. If you enjoy it, please send it to anyone that you may know or you may think may enjoy it. I'm going to be trying to work on this season to get it a little bit more out there. Anyone joining Season 2 might wonder where Season 1 is. Season 1 is now archived in the Patreon. So if you want to listen to the 17 or so episodes that I have in Season 1, please join the Patreon. It's a nominal fee that will get you access just to keep the podcast going and ad free is the main reason why I do that. You also get video versions of every episode as opposed to just the audio version. That would really help. I really just want to try and, just keep it breaking even. It's not that cheap to keep all the hosting costs. It's not crazy expensive, but it's anything that I can help keep it going and not have to rely on ads would be fantastic, and anything more would be a bonus. So if you could join the Patreon and get access to season 1 if you didn't already listen to it, please do. I'll continue to push season 2 free for everybody with the video episodes on the Patreon. I kind of plan to do that every season. When a season wraps, leave it live for a bit, then archive it to the Patreon and start the next season as the main live season. Going to try that out, see how it goes. Hopefully it works. So yeah, please promote, join, comment, give me feedback. I'm excited to keep this journey going. Looking forward to season 2. Already got some good guests. I've already had some fun conversations with some good guests. I'm looking forward to lining some more up and cracking on with those over the next few weeks. I'm going to try and make season 2 a bit more of an even number. Season 1 ended up being 17 episodes just because of how it worked out with Christmas. So I kind of want season 2 to be a more even number, maybe 20. We'll see how it goes. But yes, thank you to everyone that listened and commented and gave feedback and promoted season 1. I really appreciate it. It was great to hear it connecting with people that I knew and people that I didn't know. Hopefully season 2 will continue to grow. I'm excited to keep doing this. There's plenty of people to speak to. There's plenty of us developers making games every day and making it our living. So hopefully I can keep this going. But yeah, this is just a little taster and intro for season 2. Look out for it coming soon. And again, thank you for your support and listening, and please enjoy season 2 as it starts next week. And before I forget, I completely forgot to mention there's a few minor tweaks to the presentation of season 2. I've tweaked the font a little bit. I don't know if it makes a difference, but I messed around with it a little bit, tried to make the logo a little bit snazzier. You may have noticed some new music. I'm going to try and do a little intro at the start of every episode now, rather than season 1 just sort of started. Season 2, I've got a little intro music, and I'm going to do a little pre-recorded intro that sort of sets up the episode and then roll into the conversation, try and make it feel. That's actually how Dev to Dev started when I did the original season, way back when at Dice LA, sorry. I did that. I had some music with a little intro and then roll into the conversation. I didn't do that for the start of this version, just tried to start. I'm not sure I like it as much, so I'm going to try a little intro, little music, just sort of, as I say, set up the conversation and then get rolling. So I completely forgot to mention that initially. So this is me mentioning it now. Again, feedback welcome if anyone. I do like the sort of Sega Master System-esque background. I want to keep that. I like that, but I also don't want it to look too video gamey, obviously, although it is about video games. So yeah, any feedback on the styling and the logo, I'd appreciate it. I'm not artistic. I do my best, but being artistic is not one of my fortes. But yeah, hopefully enjoy it and look out for a snazzy new look and the new intro coming soon in season 2. Thanks again. Bye.